A certain amount of regulation is good.
That's right.
The problem is they don't stop.
I would be out of business.
With every phone call, there came some more bureaucratic red tape.
These people say laws, endless rules, strangle them.
Our government adds thousands of new pages of law every year.
That's on top of the 175,000 pages they passed in prior years.
This is just what you see here, just the federal part. States, local governments add much more than this.
That's right. If you wanted to get state, county, and city laws, you'd need to rent a bigger building.
Lawyer Jeff Rose helps little guys deal with this red tape.
This is an agenda of control for its own sake. That's why regulators do what they do.
Come on, I mean, control for its own sake. They're not Machiavellian power freaks.
I'm guessing you haven't dealt with very many bureaucrats. They like rules and they live to enforce rules.
They're tyrants.
I believe they are.
Underpaid government functionaries.
Tyrants, man.
I call these regulators little emperors. They justify their existence, John,
Exactly.
by creating regulations.
Even Marty the magician is regulated.
I got into being a full-time magician just because I thought, how can I be regulated as a magician? That's he can't get out anymore. Too bad.
Marty's entertained kids for 30 years, and like many magicians, he uses a rabbit.
Casey, a big hand! Wow! We'll have the birthday child come up and make the rabbit magically appear, and that just knocks them out.
But a few years ago,
I was signing autographs and taking pictures with children and their parents. Suddenly a badge was thrown into the mix and an inspector saying, "Let me see your license." A license for a rabbit. Hi, Casey. Hi, Casey. She said, from now on, you cannot use your rabbit until you fill out paperwork, pay the $40 license fee. We'll have to inspect your home.
Your home?
I am subject to surprise inspections of my home.
And she's not embarrassed, right?
No, she is very serious about this.
apparently Marty was in violation of the Animal Welfare Act. 10 times regulators have shown up unannounced at Marty's house.
You cannot argue with them. You can't even talk logically with them. She would love it if everybody said, "Oh." I got a new inspector and I said, "Oh, did my first one retire?" And she said, "No, good news, we've increased our budget and we have more inspectors now. So we'll be able to visit you more often."
You got this letter. Dear members of our regulated community, it sounds like a family.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a community I don't want to really be a part of. They actually wanted a comprehensive written disaster plan detailing everything I would do with my rabbit in the event of a fire, a flood, a tornado, an ice storm.
There are 20 possible disasters they list. An intentional attack, animals escape, tornado, hurricane, blizzard.
The government calls these common emergencies.
The plan came in at 30 pages.
So you say to these people, come on, this is ridiculous, and they laugh and say, no, yeah, it is, but we have to do this?
They don't laugh and say ever.
There's always more. I mean, you're not doing your job if you're a regulator unless you add more of this stuff.
That's right. That's why government grows in one direction and it doesn't shrink. America was conceived as a sea of liberty with islands of government power. We're now a sea of government power with ever-shrinking islands of liberty.
Let's go to that sea of government power. I'd like to show you around.
Hey, you want a Washington, D.C. tour? Just $10. That's the Capitol behind me. This is the IRS building. Oh, I can't tell you that. That's illegal.
Segs in the City offers guided tours around Washington on Segways. Segs in the City, get it? One problem.
This is illegal.
Well, it is illegal if you talk.
Bill Maine had an idea. Tours by Segway.
Business grows tremendously.
And that's going to be off to our left here.
But guides in D.C. must take a test and get a government license to give tours.
We'll get you back to the kiosk here.
So, you've been given tours?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have a license? Are you a bad person?
I am not.
She tried to get a license, but that's not easy.
I had to get 4 personal references from people that I've known over a year. I had to get a criminal background check, passport photos. That was like something like $20.
Total cost $200.
2 or 3 weeks later, they said I could sign up for a test date. I actually took it like a week and a half ago, and I failed by 5 points.
After this interview, she tried again, jumped through more hoops, paid another $115, retook the test, and finally did pass.
Aren't they trying to make sure that people get a proper tour?
We give them a proper tour. I mean, I've passed a bar exam. I know how to give a proper tour.
If you look off to your right, Washington, D.C., and off to your left, Virginia and the Pentagon.
The tour rules aren't about safety on segways. They're about what guides are allowed to say. Many new rules are limits on speech. John Roseman was told he had to get a license for his advice column.
If John Roseman is a criminal for giving advice in his column, then Dear Abby was on a 50-year crime spree.
Roseman's column appears in hundreds of papers, but this year,
I received a letter from the attorney for the Kentucky Psychology Licensing Board telling me that I was practicing psychology without a license.
cease and desist. You're engaged in unlawful practice of psychology.
People all over the country are getting in trouble for giving advice without a license. I represent a blogger from North Carolina who is giving out dietary advice over the internet. He got in trouble. I represent a vet who is helping people overseas who have no access to veterinarians. That guy got in trouble.
It is often the little guy who's the biggest victim of abusive law.
Am I being arrested? No, sir. You're being detained for an investigation of unlicensed activity. We're going to need to check you for weapons.
These men have the nerve to offer home improvements.
Are you kidding me now? No, sir. This is not a sting operation.
Because these job seekers didn't put up thousands of dollars and take several tests, government cracked down.
Okay, so go all the way down.
Bureaucrats at a state licensing board offered jobs to people who posted ads on Craigslist saying, "I seek work." But when the workers showed up, this happened. California's proud of this. They posted this video online. At a time when unemployment's high, our government attacks people who want to work and stops people from starting businesses.
I just got started, and now here they come.
She was told, you need a license to help people with taxes.
Free enterprise is at stake.
This man, after selling T-shirts here for 30 years, was told, you must stop.
This is just the rules from Friday, December 16th. It's tiny fine print. Here.
Yep.
Every day is another book. And you have to know everything in here or you can go to jail.
That's right. And
Here, more.
I'm a constitutional lawyer, and I have absolutely no idea what's in these books.
Each and every one of these is incomprehensible to me.
Totally incomprehensible and unnecessary. I mean, I'm flipping open to this book, and this is Department of Energy regulations on the formula for determining the energy efficiency of a commercial ice maker. Now, somebody who runs a bar or a restaurant can just go to the manufacturer and say, give me an ice maker. If it works, the market will figure out what is the best ice maker. We don't
There'll
need
be reviews on Yelp or Consumer Reports.
Yeah, we don't need the federal government printing incomprehensible mathematical formulas and requiring everybody to conform to this sort of bizarre bureaucratic standard
But
for
we
ice.
keep every day getting more of this stuff.
Yes, and it doesn't go away.
It's like a disease. It's like a mold. It just eats you through slowly, and you don't exist anymore.